So I was all ready this week to talk about boredom and the spiritual practice of fighting against boredom, which has this deep Christian history. But this hasn't been a boring week at all so far, has it? And so I want to talk for our midweek devotional today actually about nature and the way we think about nature in relationship to God. If you're like me, you've probably heard one or two people throughout your life tell you, oh, you go to church? Well, that's neat. Well, for me, I don't really need to go to church because I have the sunset and I have long walks on the beach and I have my experience of the outdoors and nature. I think that's the way a lot of people understand their spirituality these days, maybe especially here in the Bay Area. And what I think we're seeing right now with all these wildfires and waking up to ash covering our cars and our backyards, what we're seeing is again a reminder not to confuse God, our ultimate creator and redeemer, with nature. Nature, of course, is beautiful and astonishing and majestic. But as the California poet Robinson Jeffers wrote, there is also this savagery and indifference to nature sometimes, whether it's the great waves of the Pacific that kept crashing against the shore as Jeffers watched from his stone house in Carmel, or whether it's the way wildfires these days are tearing across the land without any appreciation for human lives and the damage that they cause. So at the end of the day, I think we don't want to identify God with nature. We want to say that God is something bigger and more profound and ultimately more related to love than nature really is. I love this quote from St. Augustine where he says, God is a circle. God is a circle whose center is everywhere, in every part of life, and whose circumference is nowhere. So yes, we find God in nature, in our experiences of natural beauty, but we don't stop there. And we don't risk confusing or conflating those two things. And I think that's a comfort at this time when we're feeling the effects and the terror of this natural disaster, and we're thinking about all the people affected by those fires, and we're praying to God, who is finally beyond and above nature, praying to God to bring an end to it all.